This call is now being considered.
Okay. So
This call is now being recorded.
okay. So I was saying that yesterday we had a good time yesterday, where we introduced ourselves into data analytics as it were,
This call is now
to
taking notes.
so that we can understand what data analytics is, who it is for, and every other thing. And then I believe that you had a good session yesterday. And then I think a lot of people, your mindset will have changed about what data analytics is now. A lot of people, your mindset should have changed about what data analytics is now. And then just like I said, it is that after this call, you start looking at how you can actually make some changes, some data-driven decision in your journey as you move ahead. So again, just like I said on the group page, um, after today's class, the group link will be revoked. That's number one. So that nobody will have access to the group page again. I mean the WhatsApp group. Anybody that has interest can wait for the next cohort. It is a continuous training. Um, you can't hear a word, please. Is it general? Is it general? Can you guys hear me? Let me see if you can hear me. Please use an emoji, please. If you can hear me, okay. So I think it's from your own end. It's not general. Yeah. So please, others can hear me loud and clear. You are the only one. So thank you so much. So okay. Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you so much, Philip. Yeah. So I was saying that after today's class, the group link will be revoked, and that's because of the fact that we want to focus on the people that are around now, and then apart from the fact that we are focusing on them, we also want to be able to be not have somebody that we have to be dragging us back, and then so that we can also have a very smooth ride. After this particular So yeah, favor. Yeah, I know. It was. I was one that actually muted for a while just to curb the noise in my environment, basically. So sorry for that. So also the classroom link will also be revoked after today's class, so that nobody will have access to the classroom again. So I can hear Pim. Don't mind me. Okay, so that is all about the class, and then you can't hear anything. I think you are the only one, Emmanuel. I think you are the only one because I think I can even hear myself from this end. So without much ado, let's jump into what we have for class today. So yesterday we had introduction to the data analytics, and then we mentioned yesterday that we are looking at some silent tools in our journey. We had definition into of data analytics yesterday. Just a kind of brief recap. We defined it, and then we looked at the importance of data analytics yesterday. Also, we looked at types of analytics. That was when I was telling you about the descriptive analysis, predictive analysis, prescriptive analysis, and the diagnostic analytics. Those are the things we actually checked yesterday. And yesterday also we talked about why data analytics matters. Yesterday also, so that we can see the reason why you actually need to up on this course. And we saw the career opportunities also. And then yesterday, lastly, we closed out on the software we'll be needing for this class. We closed out on the software we needed for this class, and we said that the first software we are starting with will be our Microsoft Excel. The first software we'll be starting with is our Microsoft Excel. So this class, we have done the little theoretical part of the class that we want to do yesterday. Every other part of the class will be 100%. Will be, let's say, maybe if not 100%, let's say at least 80%, 70% to 80% practical. And you at least 70 to 80% practical, and that is to allow us to maximize the little time we have. So I most likely will not be coming back to our PowerPoint slide again. I most likely will just be doing anything I need to do straight on our softwares, so that we can demonstrate whatever information we are trying to pass across. I believe in showing and not in just feeding you guys with so much information or so much this, so much that that you guys will now be full, that you won't even be able to make use of it. I don't believe in that kind of structure. I don't believe in that kind of system. I believe in a system whereby even if what you know is little theoretical aspect of things, and then you are very strong in your practical, your book knowledge is something you can always read on. Your book knowledge is always. So I think I will add to the should I say I will spice up the class to an extent. That's the first the um I'm trying to see what I'll give as a parameter, but then I just want to give about 20 people, just about 20 people on this call, access to my library. My library has quite a number of books when it comes to data analytics. I have a library for books that relates to data analytics. I won't be giving everybody the access. That's the truth. However, based on your performance towards the end of the schooling, I will give just about 20 people access to my library so that you can digest any theoretical knowledge that you want about the data analytics, so that our class can be fully focused on the practical aspect of things. We'll be able to demonstrate things to a large extent. So right now, let's jump to our first software. So I'm going to be sharing my screen for now temporarily, so that in case you cannot see my screen, you won't feel like this guy don't run away again. No, I never run. I'm just trying to see how I can take you guys to another level. So okay, so okay, I can't share my second screen alone. So let me just use this entire screen again. Let me just use this entire screen. Okay, I think I don't have so much confidential information on the screen right now. So let's use this entire screen. Somebody is saying, I think we all need to be coming down. You can't hear anything. I think most likely exactly. Thank you so much, Benson, for that response. If you are having a technical glitch and it's not general, the best thing is that you should log out and log back in. That is the best. Yeah, just log out and log back in. Network is crazy everywhere. Network is very crazy everywhere. So this is your class page. This is your classroom page. This is your classroom page. Don't allow. So this is how your classroom looks like. And then even for students and the like, this is how your classroom looks like. So all your classwork, you have all your classwork over here. So I've already edited this. So this is materials. Yesterday's material, the slide for yesterday is already dropped here. All the software that you've been needing, I'm going to drop the link to all the software here. Anyway, Excel except Excel. But then for Power BI, you have the link to your Power BI here. Where to download the SQL, you have the link here. Any other general item, you also have the link here. By the end of today's class, I believe that you will have your first quiz under this your Excel class. You have your first quiz. The first quiz is basically to test your knowledge of Excel generally. That's what it's intended for. I should have given you the quiz yesterday. So that you guys can just answer it and have a kind of basic knowledge of Excel before we enter into the class fully. So, but then I will drop the quiz tonight, and then please, I will put deadline for the quiz for 24 hours. For this particular one, this particular class expectation that was uploaded, out of 216 people we have in class, it's just 123 people that are submitted so far. Out of 216 people we have in class, all these forms as part of your final. If you don't know, there is mark allocated for it. There is if you notice class expectation, can you see that it is under attendance? It is marked under attendance. So the system has built in a way that there is mark allocated for each one of these guys. There's a certain mark for Excel, there's a certain mark for your Power BI, there's a certain mark for your SQL class, and there's a certain mark for your final project, your final exam and final project. There's a certain mark for it. And then please, I'm pleading, now I'm the one pleading. I'm the one begging you guys, so that we can be good students, I'm the one begging now. So, but then please, I'm employing you. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of the Lord. Just when you are pleading. So please, let's make sure we do assignments. They are very important. They are very necessary, please. They are very important. They are very necessary. I can overlook it that no while for them, so that by the time we are done and we are bringing out the final score, don't worry, we do like all this university. We just place the final score. Go and check your score. So that is just your classwork through. So your mark, you should be, if you want to see your mark, we allow you to see your mark. We have it on the back end that we can allow you to see your mark. So if you want you to see your mark, that's not an issue. So you will get your mark whether immediately once you are done, or maybe anytime we release the general score, you'll be able to see your mark. So that is not an issue. So without further ado, let's open our Excel. Let's open our Excel. We have about 1 hour to get into our Excel. Yeah, this is your Excel. So just like I said, I will be using Microsoft 365 for this class. I will be using Microsoft 365 for this, but then I'm not expecting you guys to use Microsoft 365. I'm not expecting you guys to use Microsoft 365. Why? Because Microsoft 365 is a paid version. It is mostly used by organizations. So it is a paid version, although some people pay for it, even though they're not in an organization and then they have access to it and the likes. So, but then because it is a paid version, and I won't maybe tell you or advise you to start your career from a paying, actually. Let's use that word, paying. I want to advise you to start things paying. Now money will define here. Now money will define. We are trying to build something else, and then as much as possible, we want to limit how much we are paying. And that's why we are trying to use a free version as much as possible for these things. And then the truth is, we are going to get the same results. That's the truth. We are going to get the same results. So this is your Microsoft Excel. This is your Microsoft 365. For some of you guys should be having your Microsoft Excel. You guys will be having some Microsoft Excel. So currently, let me raise a poll in the classroom page. To know people that have installed their Excel so far. Let me raise a poll. That's people that have Excel currently. So let's raise a poll and see people that have their Excel currently. So please, I want everybody to participate in the poll. Start a poll. You have Excel on your laptop right now. So either you pick a yes or you know. So let's launch the poll. So let's see, please. Within just everybody, you can just quickly tap on your screen and then just type the answer. Okay, yes. Somebody is saying yes. Let's see how many people. It's yes to no. Okay. What about you guys that don't have laptop? I think this person was not in class yesterday because I mentioned something about it. Yeah. So I'm not even asking you to type, please. I'm asking you to answer it on the poll. Just answer it on the poll. We have 22 votes so far, and we have over 100 persons on this call. So please, I'm expecting over 100 response again. I'm expecting over 100 response. Please, let's be fast with that. And then please, if you have a question during section, please use your Q&A part. Don't use normal chats. Use your Q&A if you have questions during the course of the class. And the reason for that is because I can easily lose track of chats. We have a lot of chats over here. I can easily lose track of chats over here. But then if you're using your Q&A will bring all the questions for me at just a glance. I will be able to see all your questions over here. And you see no question yet. I will be able to see all your questions at just a glance. So please, if you're having a question during the course of the class, please use Q&A section and not the general part. I'm not asking you guys to type. Don't type in the chat box. I'm asking you guys to vote. I've already raised a poll to that effect. I have a free version on my phone, and it's very good, sir. For your phone, please use the poll. Use the poll. Don't type. I'm not asking you guys to type. Just pick your yes or no on the poll, not typing, please. So I will not let that waste so much of our time. So I will get back on my Excel. So this is Microsoft. This is Excel. This is your Excel. Simply put, that I will not be using Microsoft 365. They are quite different, but then the difference is not that bogus. The difference is not that big. Yeah, definitely some functions. You can use some functions on 365 that your Excel will not allow you. But then the truth is, there are still always way around things, even on your Excel. There are always way around things. even whether you're using your Excel or whether you're using this or that. So don't panic about anything, because all we plan to achieve for this class, you'll be able to achieve it. So this is Excel interface. This is Excel interface, and then we might have been hearing about Excel before. And then to start with, it is called, we have Excel, and then we have what to call our spreadsheet. Just to give you background, we have what to call our Excel, and we have what to call our spreadsheet. 365 is an Excel. Why? Because it is a software. So Excel is a software, whether you're 365, whether you're Microsoft Excel 2019, 2021, 2016, 2013, and the likes. So anyone you are using, they are all your Excels, because they are softwares. So, but then we have what we call our spreadsheet. Your Google Sheet is an example of your spreadsheet. Why? Because they are cloud-based. They are cloud-based. So what cloud-based means is that they don't have a software per se, but then you can access them online. You can access them online. That is what your cloud-based means. So, so whether you are using your Excel or you are using your spreadsheet, the truth is you should be able to get the same results. And then let me hint you. If you have a tab, all these micro tabs and the likes, you should be able to scale through your Excel class without any headache. If you are very good with phone, you might be able to scale through without a laptop on your Excel. Might, I'm putting the caveat there, might, because you will not be able to do what we call your dashboarding on your phone. Your dashboard and the likes, it will not be that easy on phone. And then definitely laptop offers you a level of flexibility. But then the truth is, whatever knowledge you are learning on Excel right now here, you can also transfer that same knowledge to your Excel on your phone or on your tablet. Tablets gives you bigger screen. Some tablets even comes with mouse nowadays, and even with keyboard. So mouse comes with that. So that kind of mouse actually allows you to that kind of tab allows you to do anything easily on your Excel without any headache. So you can maximize all those. So your Excel, what we are using is our Excel. That's what we are using. However, for Excel, we call it Excel workbook. We call it Excel workbook because it is a book. We call it Excel workbook because it is a book. Just imagine trying to buy all these common books. Let's say 40 leaves book. You have your 40 leaves book to be a book, and inside that your 40 leaves book, you have different sheets. I remember when we were still small that our parents will always help us to number all those sheets, can't it? So that you will not tear it anytime you're in school for anything. Stubborn students. You always play some games with your book, play different games, do this, do that, and you will just tear your books anyhow. That's what you are tearing at that particular point in time. They are sheets inside your book. They are not your book itself. So they are sheets inside your books. So also our Excel like this as a whole is what we call our workbook. It is a workbook. We are working on it. And then under our workbook, we have different sheets. At the moment, I am on sheet 1. I think this might, let me see if this will be better. I am on sheet 1 presently. I'm trying to see. Okay, we have about 50 votes so far out of 120 something we have on the group page right now. All this little level of adherence to instruction, it actually matters a lot. It goes a long way also in getting whatever results we are trying to get. So I'm trying to just share my Excel sheets so that I will be able to come back and mark for you guys to see. So please, if you can't see my screen right now, please don't panic. It's part of the design. Don't save. It's part of the design. If you can't see my screen right now, don't panic. I'm trying to bring it back to this to this place. I'm not on my full setup. It could have been easier. Okay. Okay, so I think I can share just this guy now. Excel. Okay. You guys should be able to see my Excel now. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my Excel back now. Please, if you can see that, please let me see an emoji. You can see my Excel right now. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, fine, good. Okay, so this guy down here, that's what we call our. You can see that this is our sheet 1. That's what we have down there. You can see that that's our sheet 1. This guy down here, and then you can see this plus icon over here that is telling us this is a plus icon. So this plus icon is if you want to add more sheets. So can you see sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, sheet 5, and then you can keep adding different sheets. You can keep adding a lot of sheets to your workbook. You can see that you can keep adding a lot of them to your workbook as much as you desire, as much as you want. So that's about that. So for your Excel itself, we have about Excel can accommodate up to 1.048 million data sets. Why? Because Excel only has about 1.048 million rows. Can we confirm that? Let's come here and let's go to the last row. Can you see on the last row right now? We have this is the last row. This is the last row right now, and then you can see that we have 1.048576 rows in total. That's the total number of rows your Excel can accommodate. So anytime you are dealing with data set that is more than that numbers of rows, then Excel is not a good place to go to, because your Excel will run into errors. Excel will not be able to process your data for you. However, 1 million is actually a big deal. Also, 1 million is a big deal actually. So, and then Excel also has it has over 13,000 columns also. So what is row, what is column? I will explain that right now. What is row, what is column? Excel, we have Excel workbook. That's number 1. Excel workbook. From Excel workbook, let's narrow it down. Workbook. From the workbook, we have what we call sheets. This is your workbook, and then we can have different sheets on your workbook. So after you are done with your sheet, what's next? Then we have what we call our rows and columns. What is your rows and what's your column? Your rows are your horizontal. They are your horizontal, while your columns are your vertical. Your rows and your verticals. Your rows are your columns are your vertical. Your columns are your vertical. Your rows are your horizontal, and your column are your vertical. So things to note, please. I'm believing that you are in this class with your dirty notes. Actually, I'm believing, and I'm believing that you are in this class you are in this class with your dirty notes. Because if you are not, you are wrong. Let me use that word. You are wrong. Rows and columns. So I was saying that for your rows they are horizontal, and then your columns, they are vertical. So what are the other things to note? Your rows naming. Let's put this one direction. Let's put direction. 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 And then this is naming. Let's put this one to be naming. When you are naming rows is named numerically. By numeric, I mean your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you notice, this is our rows. Can you see that what is beginning? What we have at the beginning are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see all the numbering? Just like you have a table and you are numbering the table from the beginning to the end. That is how you number all your rows. But then when it comes to your column is numbered alphabetically. Alphabetically. That's your naming. Alphabetically. And that is why you see on top, you only have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Can you see? You only have A, B, C. And that is because your columns are actually numbered alphabetically and your rows are numbered numerically. So I said we have workbook, we narrow it down to the worksheet, then we have rows and we have columns. Rows and columns, they have other names. But then I'm not going to bore you with the other names now. We are still going to see, there's no way we are still going to touch it. But then, so that I will keep it simple for you guys so that we can go from the known to the unknown. So I will just try to work at your pace, small. But then at the same time, by working at your pace, I also want to be able to run a little bit fast so that we can cover a lot within the short time that we'll be having. So from your rows and your column, they said something is the smallest unit of life. What is the smallest unit of life? Do anybody know it? Your smallest unit of life. Just type it in the chat box if you know it. What is the smallest unit of life? Fantastic. We have great guys on this call. Yeah, cell. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, cells. Fantastic. So we have cells also over here. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I'm actually impressed already. So we have cells to be the smallest unit over here also. So from your workbook, we are narrowing it down to your sheets, and then we're narrowing it down to your rows and your columns, and then now we have the last guy, which is your cells, or which are your cells. So all these guys, each of these guys, they are called cells. They are called cells. Anywhere you click on your Excel, any box, any of this square, any of this rectangle that you click, they are called cells because that is the smallest unit you can deal with on your Excel sheet or your Excel workbook, because you are coming from the workbook to the sheet to the rows and columns and then now to the cell. So the smallest guy you can deal with is your cells. So if I'm telling you that go to cell A1, I know what I'm asking you about. So now, should I give somebody okay? Don't I mean so that it's not look as if maybe I'm asking you for over syllables. So, for example, if I'm saying that go to the next cell, you know that we are on this cell. Okay, is it to the right or down or to the left or on the right? Oh, go to the left cell to the right. You know that this is the next cell. So now we will now get to a point that I'll say go to the cell D7. We'll get to a point that I'll tell you that go to cell D7. D7. So what is your cell D7? How will you know your cell D7? Because each of these cells that you are looking at here, all of them have their name. Either you are the one doing personal naming ceremony for them, when you are giving birth to a baby, after 8 days, you go do the naming ceremony now. And then it's either you are doing the naming ceremony or or you go with the conventional name. What is the conventional name for baby? Baby. So every cell that you can see on here, they all have their different names. Every cell, anyone, just imagine anyone you can think of over here. Like, in fact, the one we cannot see right now, that is down. They all have their. In fact, this guy, this is your last column, XFD. That's your last column. Even the last column, this guy has a name. So it shows us the fact that every guy on here actually has a name to themselves, and we need to learn the naming nomenclature. So let's briefly go to cell naming nomenclature. So all this thing we are doing, we are laying foundation for the journey ahead. Don't forget and don't lose thoughts, because and then the reason why we are laying this foundation is also because of the fact that we want to. Yeah, I think somebody is already answering me on the group page. I think somebody's already answering on the group page about. I thought I saw a message around row and column. Fantastic. Yeah, I think somebody has, I think somebody has an idea of it already. But then that's notwithstanding, we still move ahead. So anytime you are doing a naming ceremony for yourself, what you need two things. You need your row name, and then you need your column name. you need your row name and you need your column name. What is your, okay, you need your column name first. Column name, let's arrange it in order, and then row name. You need your column name and your row name. So we've so I've already told us before that your column name, they are alphabets. Alphabets. And how will you see your row name, your column name? They are on top. Can you see? They are on top. A, B, C, D. So all these, this is not the guy I want to use. Clear or so all these, your A, B, C, D, they are your column names. And all these, down to the last guy, they are your row names. All these are your column name, and then all these are your row name. So let's quickly look at it. So it means that let's pick any random cell, anyone. Let's pick any random cell. So I'm clicking on this particular cell. So let me highlight it so that we can always have it. So let's say we are clicking on this particular cell right now. So clicking on this particular cell, how can we know the name? Don't forget that we said column name plus row name. So we are saying that cell naming is equals to column name and row name. That's a summary. That's a summary. So now, how can we get the column name for this? Fantastic. Somebody's already getting the gist. Somebody's already getting the gist. Yeah. Thanks for that. K2. So let's confirm whether it is K2. So what is our column? So let's trace this guy back to this place. This is K. Okay. Can you see? This is K. And then let's trace this guy back to this place. And then this is 12. Can you see that? Let's bring it on top. Can you see that? Can you see that? So this simply shows that this is K and 12. And then therefore, this guy will be K12. It is as simple as that. It is as simple as that. So we can easily look at our column name and our row name to decide our cell's name. So now, if I'm telling you that go to cell A5, you already know that you're coming to this column, and then you're coming to 5. So this guy you're looking for A5. If I'm saying that go to cell Z30, you know that Z30, so we don't have your Z here, so goes, this is your Z, and then your 30 should be down here. Z30 should be down here. So this is your 30, Z30. So you have your Z30, you have your Z, you have your 30. Can you see that? So with that is simply how to do our naming nomenclature. Very simple, simple as ABC. Very simple and straightforward. So that's basically how to do our naming nomenclature. So let's clear what we have right now, clear, and then let's go back to our Excel. So, but then let me now teach you the cheat code to this, because there's a cheat code to this. There's a cheat code to this. So, and then with that cheat code, we start looking at the interface of our Excel. Start looking at the interface of our Excel. There is a box on this our Excel sheet that is called naming box. There's a box on this our Excel sheet that is called naming box. And what does the naming box do? Naming box give you the name of any cell or any box you are inside. It gives you the name of any box without you trying to look for the name yourself. It gives you the name of the box itself. And then even if you want to go to another box entirely or another cell entirely, you can go to your naming box and type the name of the cell that you want to go to there, and then it will take you to that place with immediate effect. So this is your naming box. Let me show you guys on your screen. So this guy over here, this guy is what we call our naming box. Can you see that we are on right now? What is in there is G17, G17. Can you see that? So let's now see whether our G17 is correct. Let's see if our G17 is correct. So this is our G. Can you see that? And then this guy, let's see, 17. Can you see that? That's very, very correct. So this guy allows you to be able to navigate. So let's say we want to go from here. We want to go to Y20. Y20. That is a reinforcement in construction. So can you see that I just typed over here Y20, whether small letter or capital letter, it does not mean, and I click on your enter. Can you see that it has taken us to Y20 with this effect? So let's say I'm going to ZAD 1000. See? Okay, we don't have ZAD, but then I believe that we should have let's say we should have XAD. We should have XAD. Can you see? We have SAD. It's taking us to SAD, and then 1000. Can you see that? It's quite easy. It's quite easy. It's quite easy. So it's not really a biggie actually. So having said that, let's clear this guy again, and then let's look at the interface generally. So we are starting with the interface. The first thing we have on the interface is our file. So just to get ourselves familiar with the interface of Excel, one of the things I always tell my students is the fact that once you understand your tool, by the time you want to achieve anything on your tool, it will be easy for you to actually achieve, because you already know where to run to anytime you're trying to do anything on your tool. So it's a question of knowing where to run to, and then being able to run to the place at crucial hours. So, and that's one of the reasons why we don't joke with understanding your interface. Any class you'll be having, the first thing is that you will first understand your interface. That's the first thing. You first understand your interface. So now let's quickly go through this. So under your file, you will see that under your file, you have all these options under your file. And then all these options you have under your file, you have your new. If you want to start a new project, you have your new. So you can always go and start a new project. You can pick from options that is available. If you want to open something that you have done before, this is where to go to. Your open will allow you to go to whatever you have done before, and then you'll be able to use it. Your information, this gives you information about your Excel that you are using. So for this one, I am using if I want to protect my workbook, this is the name of the author. So it helps you the properties and the likes. It gives you information about your workbook generally. If you want to save anything, so this is where you come, you save. If you want to save as, this is where you come, you save as. If you want to save as PDF, Adobe PDF, this is where you come. And if you want to print also, this also allows you to print. Your Excel allows you to print. If you want to share maybe within an organization or through as an email, save it on to cloud system, you can do that over here. I'll be rushing through this because there are things you can actually go through or you go back once at your own layer also. You can also do this share as Adobe PDF. You can convert to PDF and also share it. If you want to export, you can also export out. Then I can close this back to come back. If I want to close it, I can also close it from there, and that's about that. So with that, we are done with. We have been able to look at our file. Our file is nothing really serious that we'll be using in class. Under our home, we have our home right now, and then under our home, we'll be looking at quite a number of things. So starting with our so let me change the color so that we can have something changing it. So we have our home, and then under our home, the first guy we'll be looking at is your clipboard clipboard. Yeah. So the first guy we'll be having is your clipboard. So let me come here and say your clipboard. After this class, I should remember, I'll be sending you guys on your classroom page. I have a curated list of about 250 shortcuts on Excel. A curated list of about 250 shortcuts on Excel, so that it can also help your work efficiency. So I'll be sharing that to you guys. Everybody, don't worry, I'll give it to everybody. Don't worry. I'll be sharing that with you guys on your page, so that everybody can actually use it for. They can look at the formula and use it and have it, maybe use it for their daily use and the likes. So your clipboard, under a clipboard, the first thing we have under it is paste, but then paste is not the first thing that we are talking about. Under a clipboard, we have what we call our copy. For people that have heard about this before, we have our paste, we have our cuts, and then we have what we call our format painter. Format painter. We have these 4 guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have this. We have what is we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Yeah, that's complete. We have the 4. So what is your copy? Your copy is you want to copy something from here. So I can right click, I can copy, and then I can paste it over here. If I want, I can right click again and then paste it over here. So that is your paste. Copy and paste. You are duplicating it. So that is already sorted. So your paste, we've already sorted that. So your cut, I can cut this, I can try to cut this, and then I can paste it somewhere else also. So it is cut and paste. You are moving it from one end to another. So for this one, shortcut for this one is Control C. Shortcut for this one is Control V. So shortcut for this one is Control X. So these are the shortcuts for this first 3. So Control C here. Let me Control C this and come here, Control V here. Can you see? Control C, Control V. So I can Control X here, Control X, and then Control V over here. Can you see how I've been able to move all this thing around? So that is basically how your copy, paste, and can cut works. So let me spice up things. Let me change the font of this guy. Let me change the font of this guy. Let me change it to Adalam. Let me increase the size of this. And let me spice it up a little bit. Let me give it color and change this guy to white. You know, I have formatted this to what I want. And then let me say I'm having other topics. I'm saying I'm having over here paste. And I'm having, let's say, blue, just anything random. I'm having it over here. And then they are asking me to copy to whatever the formatting that is over here. I should put it over here, and over here too. You know, instead of coming back over here to be looking for the format for the type, you know, this, and now taking this, and then now trying to look for the font size again. You know, I don't know whether I'm able to meet up or not. So instead of going through this route, so this is 16, this is also 16. Anyway, I think I'm able to get to this. So, but then instead of going through that route, I can easily do this. I can easily click on this, come and click on Format Painter. Can you see Format Painter? And then I can click on this. Can you see that immediately it's copied the format and it is placing it on it? Can you see with immediate effect? I don't need to go back to all those guys to be doing it one by one. So that is what your Format Painter is doing. So that we've already trashed that. So next one, we are looking at our fonts. Under this your fonts, you have you can do so many things on this your fonts. You can bolding if you want to bold. If you want to bold whatever you are doing, I just use bold, not quite long. You can italicize whatever you are doing if you want. You can italicize, you can bold, you can italicize, and then also you can underline. If you want to underline, these are the places you need to go. And the truth is, as a data analyst, most times we don't really use most of all this FEC. But then beyond data analytics, you might also be needing this for your personal life, and that's one of the reasons why I am trying to have a kind of quick rush through of them. If you want to have a border, this is your border. This guy's your border. If you want to have a border, maybe a kind of table, this is your border. If you want to change your font size, this is where to come to. If you want to change your font type, rather, that's where I changed font, not quite long. If you want to change your font size, you can use this. And then also, if you don't want to use that, you can also use these guys to either increase or reduce your fonts. You can also use these guys. So the capital letter, this bigger A means you want to increase the size. The small a means you want to reduce the size. That's what that means. So if you want to change your background color, this is your run to guide to change your background color. If you want to change the color of your text, this is your run to guide to change the color of your text. And you can see all those over there. So let's quickly have a quick run through, a quick use of all those things. So let's say Victor, typing my name, Victor, and then I'm saying I want to bold this. Okay, it is now bold. Okay, let's say I want to change this guy. Let's pick something sweet. Okay, let's say I want to increase his size. I can come here and increase the size over here to whatever I want. And if I don't want to use this, I can come and use this. Can you see? I reduce it with this. I can reduce with this. If I, there's no line in between it right now. So if I want to give it border, I can come here. I can say all border. If you can see that, you see that there is a line already over here. So for you to be able to see it better, let me off this grid line. Can you see? The grid line is no longer there now, and you guys can easily see all the borders around this guy. This is the only guy that has border, and that's because I clicked on border, so I can return the grid line so that we can have a better look. And then so I said, if you want to change the background color, you can always change the background color to your taste here. If you want to change the color of this, you can also do that over here to your taste. So you can so please don't panic about all this for now, and that's because they are good for your knowledge of Excel, but then they are not kind of core experience parts of data analytics, because the truth is you will not really be doing all these things in data. By the time you are cleaning your data, you know, go remember say you won't do all this formatting actually, because nobody actually cares about this your backend. Nobody cares. What people cares about is actually your final results, which is your dashboard or the insights you're trying to bring on board. So, but then, like I said, for your Excel usage, for your personal consumption, you actually need all this. So the next guy we are looking at is your alignments. We have these guys under alignments. I'm too fast. Yes, I know I'm too fast, and that's because that's why I told you that. See, I quickly want to have a quick run through. Yeah, that's why I said I want to quickly have a quick run through of your interface so that we can finish the interface today to a large extent. You can watch the video all over again. That's not an issue. You can watch the video all over again. The video recording is available. You can watch the video all over. Let me confirm. Okay, yeah, it is being recorded. Yeah, just to be on the safer side. So I'm looking at this Victor and the likes, and then I want to change the alignment of this. What is your alignment? If you are using your Microsoft Word, alignment, you have your right alignment, your left alignment, your center alignment. In fact, you have your juxtapose for people that love typing, for people that have always been typing. You have different types of alignment. The same vein on Excel also, you also have all your different types of alignment. This is your left alignment, this is your center alignment. Can you see putting at center? This is your right alignment, putting it by the right. So by the right. And then at the moment it's at the bottom, so you can take it to the midpoint if you want. You can take it to the top if you want. These are things that you can decide yourself. You can decide any alignment you want to use yourself, depending on whatever you are working on. So and then also we have something we call our orientation. That's something we call our orientation. You must have seen report card before, like school report card. So for school report card, you will see something like English, mathematics for teachers in the house. This might be useful for you guys. Social science, integrated science, coming economics. Please don't mind me. I know the teacher or economics. Let's say chemistry. Let's say biology. See the way I'm writing biology, it's looking like all this war front stuff. So as many subjects you are having, you can always physical and education. So if you noticed, currently your English is complete, your mathematics is not complete. Why? Because it is encroaching your E block. So like I always explain this guy, this is where I always explain this guy. This is a plot of land, this is a plot of land, this is a plot of land. Everybody has a plot of land, one plot of land. Now imagine Victor bought a plot of land and is now writing his name, is building his house around his color for Victor. Oh, Victor bought only a plot, and the plot that I was assigned to Victor is what? Is plot D7. If you are correct, are we together? Am I correct? The plot assigned to Victor is plot D7. But then now, Victor, because of the fact that he feels that block D7 cannot build me a house now, he has encroached to block E. Can you see that? Victor is now on E7. In fact, partially on block F7 also. Can you see that? So Victor is kind of encroaching other people's land already. So there are two ways. There are multiple ways of actually doing this. Number one way is that we can increase Victor's plot of land. We can increase Victor's plot of land That's number one way of doing it. We can increase Victor's plot of land so that is the one that we have, that we own all this. So how can we do that? So let's copy this. Let's copy this and put it elsewhere. Copy it, put it elsewhere. Copy it, put it elsewhere, so that we can use this guy. Let's put it over here. So the first way we can do is that we can tell Victor, then go to Victor. Victor, you are already encroaching these other lines. Will you buy them? And first say, oh, okay. You know, props, something is there. Don't worry, you give me money, and then okay, so let me just buy everything. So how much is this 3 plots? Okay, it is amount of money. Okay, don't worry, send your account number to Prof. You will pay for it. And then now at that particular point in time, Victor owns all these 3 plots. And then what we do at that particular point in time is what we call match and center. This guy over here, it is called your match and center. This guy over here is called your match and center. This guy. So I can easily say, click on this guy that, you know what, Prof has bought this for Victor, so let's match it together. Can you see now that it is now matched together? He has matched all these cells as one, and it has centered. So Victor now owns all your N7, O7, and P7 right now. That's number one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is what we call our wrap test. Victor is proposing, I want to buy this thing. I want to buy this thing. And Prof is not saying, no, Victor, don't buy it. Oh, I know we'll give you money this time around. Though. Just do your lane. No pass your lane and the likes. You know, at that particular point in time, Victor don't have any other choice than to just stay within his confinement. At that particular point in time, what we use is what we call our wrap test. This guy over here, up here, is what we call our wrap test. This guy over here is what we call our wrap test. So your wrap test actually allows you to wrap whatever you are doing inside a cell. So if I should click on this wrap, can you see that it has created more space for Victor so that everything can be accommodated in just Victor's land. Everything can be accommodated in just Victor's land. Can you see that? So this is what we call our test wrapping. You are wrapping it. So we said this one is match and center. I would say this one is test wrapping. Test wrapping. So this we but then for this guy in particular, this guy is already encroaching other people's land. We don't want to wrap. We don't want to wrap it. We don't want to merge it and the likes. So we can use what we call our orientation. And this is what they use basically in most report cards. So what you do is that you highlight all these guys and come to this guy over here, orientation, and click on the orientation that you want. You have different orientation. You have the clockwise, you have the counterclockwise, you have the vertical, or vertical down and the likes. So let me click on the vertical. Can you see this? I'm not enjoying this. I don't like this. Let me look at this. Yeah, can you see this? English maths, this and the likes and the likes. And then with this, I have something very good I can use. You know what, guys, please, just a minute's break. Just a minute's break. I'm still very much here, but then I want to mute my mic for just a minute. So I think I'm back. So sorry for that short break. I had to just take a cup of water rather. Okay, so with this, we have all these guys kind of aligned in this pattern. We have them arranged in this pattern, and then you know, now we have something maybe kind of solid we can work with. Something kind of solid we can work with. So this is, and you see that this is how your report card looks like most times. This is how your report card looks for people that went to good schools, not the federal, not the public, you know, not the kind of schools that some of us went to. A very good school, you know, like anyway, my school is not that bad. At least it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So, but then you know, it is what it is. So for people that went to a very good school, that they always give them the
Good
podcast.
school, that they always give them the good school, that they always give them the good school.
So sorry for that. My feedback came looking for me. So for people that went to good school, you see that your report card always look like this, and then you have all your scores under it, this and likes, and then you will see it. And then, although I think nowadays people are already changing the orientation, that it will just be along this line. That's but then for the general report card that will be submitted to the school, the name of the students will be here. So let me do some name sampling. You can't see my screen again. I think you are the only one, Precious. If you can't see my screen again, I think you are the only one. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, Sterling has been my fan from day one. He always see my screen. In fact, don't worry. So I'm trying to see. In fact, let me even use Sterling name as number one student. Let's say Oka for Sterling. That's this is a general report card to we are preparing for the old school. Okay, and I've seen Odima Princess. So you can always have your name around here. Okay, I have Tamuno. I have Jason. I have Prosper. All of you showing your name, but we have is David. It's the time we are assigning mark that you guys will know that Emmanuel. We have Emmanuel Sumto. People from my village. We have boss people from my village. Okay, so we have Obidoha. So let's just keep it simple like as this. So because the reason why I'm taking my time to pick those names now is because I know that we still need this guy actually. We still need this guy, and then we'll be using this guy for something we call conditional formatting. So I might want to add more, but then it's still nothing. But then just for the sake of class, and so that will not take so much time. I think I have Precious also, so I can keep it as this. So for general report card, this is how you kind of keep it. This is how you kind of keep it. You kind of keep it very simple. You have all their names, and then you have all the subjects, so that by the time you see all their final scores in here, all their final score over 100, you now be able to kind of have your total over here, so that you can now rank them in class. That this is the first rank in class. If you want to rank them for second, third in class, all those kind of things. So we are still going to use this guy. Don't worry, don't be in haste. We're still going to use this guy. But then let's get back to our interface. So still on our interface. So after that, we have what to call our number. So on our number, this guy over here, we have what to call our number. This is where you change. This is where you change so many things. There's a constant break in my voice. Network is 4. Is it general? Can you guys hear me? Is it general? Is there a constant break in your voice? Okay, people can hear me actually. People can hear me fine. Yeah, people can actually hear me. So please, if you can't hear me, and I'm guessing it is your network. I had to, because of you guys, I had to go and order for my network from is it China? So I ordered for a new network because of you guys, so that the network can be very good and we can enjoy our class. But then now somebody using Nigerian network is not telling me they can't hear me. You want to be comparing Nigerian network, so don't mind me. Let's get back to class. I was saying that we have numbers, and then under our number, we have quite a lot of things. We have if you want to change this guy, by the time we start changing our data type, so you guys can note that by the time we start talking about our data type, I will talk more into all this number. We have number, so you can change your data type to number, to your currency, to short date, long date, to time, to percentage, to fraction, to tests and the likes. So there's something we call data standardization. I don't want to be going you guys, so I don't want to be going too far for you guys now. But then standardization, but then you guys can be noting all those things. Something called data standardization. Is also part of things that one of the technical jargons that we are still going to also look at in the class. So that but then these guys just used to control maybe if you want to do with currency, if you want to deal with normal number, if you are calculating percentage, whatever you are doing as regard number, this guy actually talks into that. Under our style, we have what's called our conditional formatting. This conditional formatting is something that we are going to look at expressively. In fact, I'm going to start looking at it with this guy, and then you have an assignment on your conditional formatting also, just to prep you guys ahead of class. So maybe worst case, I know that latest by next class we should treat our conditional formatting. I'm so sure about that. That worst case, next class we'll talk about our conditional formatting. So if you want to format as table, maybe you are dealing with table and you want to format as table. This is your run to guide. So you can always format this as your table. So you can use this to format table, to bring table and put record of whatever thing you are trying to do over here as table. So that is your table. If you want to do your cell style, instead of using all this your coloring and the like that we used for all these ones. So if you want to do your quick cell styles, you can come over here, click on any one. You see that if you change the style to whatever it is that you want. If you change the style to whatever you want at just a glance, if you change the style, whatever you want. So you can use a kind of available style already on your stuff to play around your stuff. So also, if you want to insert, delete, and format, what are we inserting? If I want to insert a new column, I can always just click on this. Can you see that a new row has been inserted? If I want to insert a new column here, can you see that a new column has been inserted? Can you see that? So this is the guy we use to insert. You can insert cells also. I can decide that I want to insert a cell over here. So insert cell, to ask me, am I putting it down or that? So shift the cell down. I want to shift all these guys down. So it will not work. Why? Because of this table. This table, because if it is shifting it down, it will take this one to this place, and then it will not maintain the table again. So let's do it here where there's no table, so that you can see that. See what I mean. So shift cell, shift down, and then okay. Can you see that this guy has shifted down? So that is basically what it means to actually put your cell over there. So you can also insert your sheet rows, sheet columns, and then insert sheet itself. You can also go through the route of deleting. You can delete just like we inserted. You can delete. If I want to delete this, I can delete this. If I want to delete this, since I just added it, I can also delete it. Can you see? But this guy that I just added also, I can delete the cell also. Can you see? C cell up, shift cell up. Yeah, can you see that? And I'm back to what I had before. So I'm done with all these guys. So for your editing, these guys are your quick calculations. This is your submission. It is called. So once you see this sign, it is a sign for submission. So these are your aggregate functions. So under your aggregate functions, you have your sum, your average, your count number, your maximum, your minimum. So these are your aggregate functions. We'll be using some of these functions also a lot. As we join ahead, we'll be using these functions also a lot. In fact, there is a mathematics test you guys are going to do, a kind of a workbook that I'll be giving to you guys, and you guys will play around most of these formulas, so that you guys can have a good knowledge of formulas and how to use formulas and the likes. So and that is about that. So if you want to fill down, we call these guys fill down, fill right, fill left. By the time I'm teaching you guys conditional formatting, I'm going to use this function, and I'm going to explain this function better, so that I won't just teach you theoretical and not practicalize it. By the time I'm teaching you guys conditional, because if I should go there now, we no go finish class today. We no go finish. My talk pidgin. We no go finish class today. We go sit there for the next another 1 hour. And me, I know they care for job. I know they care for work. Now they consider. But then by the time we get on other conditional formatting, we will look at all these guys and then how to just maximize them in our journey also. And so over here we have our sorting tools, our filters. We also look at all this also along the journey also, so that I won't give you theoretical knowledge without practical demonstration of it. And then if you want to look for anything on your cell, you want to find anything on your cell. So, for example, I want to look for rows. So let me look at find out. Can you see row is here? role is here. So anywhere the role is appearing, it will show me. So this is the guy to run to if you are looking for uh have I double pressed this guy? Why is this guy reacting like this? So if you are looking for to find anything, that's the best guide to actually use to find for whatever you're looking for. And if you want to replace also the same thing, you can replace with that. If you want to go to any part of this place, if you want to go to table, this is our table, I can click on it, so it takes me to this table. So if I want to move around this guy, if I have multiple things I'm dealing with, I can always go to each one of them at just a glance. You don't need all these guys for now. You don't need all these guys for now. In fact, all this analysis data, you don't need all these guys for now. All these guys are just they are just like a kind of adding for that. So for your under your insert, very quick under your insert, we'll be using this guy very well. Let me clear what we have right now. We'll be using this guy very well. Your pivot table, we can't run away from it. By the time we start going into our visuals, you are going to look at your pivot table, and then there's a part. Even people that have been using Excel before, there's a part of Excel that I can bet that most of you have never gone to before, even for people that are operating on Excel before. So let me take a random sampling in the group. So if let me see tools. So for people asking for how to get to the pool, for people asking for how to get to the pool, on your phone, you will see a 3-dot line like this. Okay, I'm not sharing my entire screen. But then you will see a 3-dotted line on your phone. If you're using your phone, down, you will see your camera, you will see your mic, you will see your emoji where you are clicking to react, and then you see 3 dots. So you can click on the 3 dots, and then it will bring out a kind of pop out for you. On the pop out, go down. You see something called tools there. You see something called tools. TOOLS. You see tools there. Click on the tools. Once you click on the tools, it will bring you under the tools, and you can see that right now we have pools, and then we have question and answer under it right now. So on the pool, one of the pools is currently active right now, and then which is the one that I asked whether you have laptop or not. So and then you can always click on that, and then if you have your question also, you can always put it over there. I am seeing some questions that are not questions here, please. What I said is that on your question and answer, only put questions. Don't be putting things like I can't see your screen. Don't be putting things like voice not loud, it is faint. Those are not the things I'm expecting on your question and answer. Or else you guys will just allow us to miss out on important questions. All those things, you can be putting them in your chat box, in your message box. But then for questions that has to do with class, so that I will be able to answer all your questions, please. That is the only thing. What did you click to arrive at the last row quickly? Fantastic question. Yeah, so that's a shortcut, actually. Onuche, that's a shortcut. So the shortcut I use is quite simple, actually. So to get to any place conveniently, because there is no space, I'm not typing anything again here. So the only thing I press is my control button on my keyboard, and I press my down. Control button and I press my down, and it will take me to the last part of my role. And if I want to do the same thing for column, control again and click on my right. So it take me to the last part of my column also. So with that, I can always navigate to the last part of things. So can you see now I'm already back up at 16. So and I can always have that. So that answers your question. So for others, I think I've detected their question. Please, questions should only be asked under your Q&A. Don't put anything like comments and the likes. So I wanted to ask a question before. I think I still remember the question. So let me quickly raise the pool. Have you heard of this guy before? So we have 82 pool out of about 130 something on this call. Have you heard of Power Query on Excel before? So it is also just your yes or no. Please just answer your yes and your no. You know, this is a part of Power Query that most people don't know, actually. Most people don't know it. So I've already launched the quiz. In fact, I'm thinking the pool should even pop to your face at the glass. But even if it's not popping, just go under your tools and then go under your pool, and then you can always just pick your yes or your no. Okay, 22 responses so far. Okay. Note the last cell of the column does not stop at Z. I've told you guys that it's not stopping at Z. We have over 13,000 we have over 13,000 columns. So it's not stopping at Z. It is stopping at the last guy should be XFD. Can you see that's the last guy? XFD. That's this is the last guy. XFD. That's the last guy. That's the last guy on your Excel. So okay, so going back to whatever we are doing, I said pivot table. You're going to look at pivot table later, and then by the time we are diving into analysis, your table. So most of you guys will not see anything like form on your own because you're using Excel. But then there is 365. That's online integration. So illustration. If I'm trying to add pictures, if you're trying to put pictures on your work, this you can use your illustration. We're trying to put pictures. If you're trying to put shape, maybe you're trying to draw, we are still going to draw. So this is where to come to. Your checkbox most likely will not be on your own. So for recommended charts, by the time we start plotting our graphs, we start plotting, we start analyzing our data, we are going to be we'll be having a class on charts itself that will look at all the types of charts we have. These are all the types of charts we have. We have our column charts, line charts, pie charts, bar charts, area, map, this and the likes. So we have all the types of charts over here, and which we are going to be looking at practically, not theoretically. We're going to be looking at them practically, so that we can look at what each chart does, and then how we can actually apply each of the charts during anytime we are trying to analyze data or we are trying to do anything. And then from there you have your spark lines. This forms as part of your analysis. You have your slicer and your timeline. These are your features. So for your slicer and your timeline, by the time you start analyzing, also you also get to understand this also better. So for drawing, we don't have anything to do with on drawing your page layout. This is where if you're trying to print or do anything, that's when you need all this. But for data analysis, we don't need this at all. For your formula, yeah, this guy will be not expressively, but then definitely by the time we teach you how to write your formulas, you'll be able to transfer the knowledge from one to others. That's the plan. You'll be able to transfer because we have quite a lot of formulas. These are finances formulas. These are formulas under finance. These are formulas under logic. These are formulas under tests. We have quite a number of them. These are formulas under date. These are your lookup functions. If you have asked about VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, HLOOKUP before, they have asked about your X match before. They are under your lookup and reference. If you are good with the mathematics, you know that your math and trigonometry ratio, all your sine, cosine, arctine, all those log, base 10, Roman and the likes, you see all the formula around those. You see them over here. Then also you can definitely have more functions, statistical functions, your engineering functions, your cubic functions, your information functions, and then and the likes. So this is your function library. It houses all the functions you can actually think of. It houses all the functions you can actually think of. So that settles that. And then by the time we are coming back to data, on this data, this is okay. So what are the important functions? Every function, every beginner in analysis should master first. Yeah. So if you look at the class curriculum, we have already sketched out all the functions that you guys will be learning in class. Those functions, they are things that you need almost on your day to day to an extent. And if you know those functions, to an extent, you'll be able to navigate your way through other functions. So we have already catered for that already in the course curriculum, and which I've already dropped the slides on your classroom page. If you have time, you can also look at it to look at what we have in plan for these classes. So please, could you show us an icon of Excel app to download? An icon of Excel app to download. Your Excel is your Excel. This is the icon. In fact, this is the icon right on your screen. This is the icon up here. This is the icon up here. This is the icon up here right on your screen. So it's just X, and then you see the green stuff. So that's how your Excel works. I think I've answered your questions. So your data, under your data, we are going to be coming over here later on, and then we are going to be dealing with So what is the closure time? We are already wrapping up. That's why I'm trying to answer your question. We are going to be getting our data, and then we are going to be touching on these guys also, and then so that as we journey through our analytics journey. So far so good. I think we've been able to look at the major things we need to know as an analyst on our Excel workbook. These are just other added ones so that to enhance your view. If I want to switch this to black, so that it is my personal preference. Also, all this your review, all this your views, they are for personal preference. They just help you for your own personal preference based on whatever you like. So this is automation. We are not going to automation at all in this class because this is specialist work. Also, we have your VBA, you have your micros. You know, those are other parts of Excel. Excel is a very wide guy, very crazy guy. You know, very crazy. We have your VBA, you have your micros, apart from your normal analysis. And then for your developer also, most of you guys will not see developers on your own because you have to kind of activate it on the back end. You guys don't need it in this class at all. That's because I am doing some complex stuff on my Excel. That's why I have my automate and my developers. I'm using them together to run some other complex stuff. So and then your help, your last one should be your help, and then all these are other software I have integrated into it. So with this, I think we've had a good walkthrough of our Excel, and we have already to an extent, I think we've touched on almost all the necessary part of the Excel interface that you guys will be needing to actually get started. So from your next class, we will not be dealing with our Excel interface again. From your next class, we'll be going straight forward to doing things on Excel. Like now we understand our interface. From next class, we'll be doing things on our interface. We want to do calculation, let's do calculation on the interface. We want to spot something, let's spot something on the interface. Whatever we're trying to do, we are going to be doing them from our next class so that you can start making out the juicy parts of this trading. So let's look at your questions. If you have any question, please throw your questions at me right now so that I can look at how can I update my Excel. I've told you this yesterday. You can look at check your Get Into PC. Your Get Into PC, you should be able to download the latest version of Excel of your Microsoft package general, not only Excel, Microsoft package general. So it will be uploaded on your classroom page. I'm still trying to look at whether it will be to that will be stopping you, so that from the classroom page you guys can just be watching it live. So that's what I'm trying to just conclude on before I share before we put it there. Will the download be free? Yes, the download from Get Into PC to be free. Yeah, definitely to be free of charge. It will be free of charge. So which other thing? I think with that, I think I've answered all your questions today. I think I can please repeat how to update Excel. I said just go to your getintopc.com, and then download any version of Excel that you want. Getintopc.com. Go there and then download any software you want over there. So I think with that we can draw a curtain to end today's class. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. You know, it's actually a very great time with you guys in class. So it's actually a very great time with your class. So the tool we use for Excel on internet connection and the likes and automation. I was asked for license. No, they will not ask for license. Actually, they will not ask for any license. So I did change your screen to dark. I change it under my view. You can go under your view and change it under there. So we've already used 5 minutes past the time class, and that's because we joined most of us joined the class late. We had to wait extra time. So please let's come to class early, and then thank you so much, and thank you guys, and then I will see you guys next week Saturday by 4 p.m. So please get ready for the journey ahead. You know, it's now getting sweeter. It's now getting sweeter. So thank you so much, guys, and please do it to enjoy the rest of your nights. Bye, and have a productive week.